Hello Absurdisan fans and welcome back to chat. Now everyone knows the new Pokémon games are going to be coming out at some point. I don't honestly know the release dates offhand, but it's Pokémon X and Y, and there are trailers and stuff for it, and you can ride Pokémon, which is phenomenal and awesome because who hasn't dreamt of riding a Pokémon if you're into it? And one of the big new features that came out fairly recently was Mega Evolutions, and these are triggered evolutions that occur in battle with the help of something called a Mega Stone. So once you go into battle with, say, a Mewtwo, then you can activate the Mewtwo Mega Stone, which is called Mutanite, like Lucario's is called Lucarionite and Blaziken is Blazikenite. It's really cleverly named. But you activate the Mega Stone and then they evolve again beyond what they are now into this awesome new, more powerful version of whatever they are, called Mega X, Mega Mewtwo, Mega Blaziken, blah 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 blah. Now you need the correct Mega Stone to evolve your Pokemon. Like I said, you need Mutanite for Mewtwo, Lucarionite for Lucario, so you can't just use random Mega Stones for different Pokemon. And it's not like a Fire Stone that you can use for a wide array of things. It is specifically tailored to that Pokemon. And I don't know how you're going to get a hold of it. I know that Blaziken's Mega Stone you can only get a hold of at distribution events, which I hate and I'll get into later. But most recently, some very exciting news came out in a trailer, and that showed the Generation 1 starters having Mega Evolutions. So you get to see Charizard evolve in battle into this epic dragon thing with extra horns and little wings off his arms, and he just looks more badass. And Venusaur's plant on his back gets larger and it's got vines and he gets more markings and he just looks beefy. And then Blastoise is insane! Because he goes from just having the two cannons come out of his back to having a cannon on each arm and one massive cannon coming out of his back. He looks like a literal tank! And it's amazing because he gets this little chin spike that makes him look like he has a goatee, and I love that. Now you might be able to tell that I'm a little bit excited about this, but that's because I grew up with Pokemon. I grew up and got Pokemon Red for Christmas and my brother got Pokemon Blue. We got it when it first came out and I've been with the games ever since. But I haven't played one of the new games since I think Pokemon Soul Silver and Heart Gold came out, and even those were remakes of the old games. I just kind of lost interest, and I also didn't have a 3DS to play the new games. But then I see these Mega Evolutions, and I see the art style of the new game, and the 3D-ness, and the way you can ride Pokemon, and it's got so many new features in it that it's making me excited about Pokemon again. And it's not just because there's new Pokemon coming out that I think are cool, but it's because they're revisiting old and beloved Pokemon that have remained unchanged and making them better. Now that's not to say that Mega Evolutions have gone over completely well with the community. There has been a lot of outcry from specific people about Mega Evolutions kind of distracting from the main game. They're a gimmick. It's a weird diversion from where the games originally came from, which was all about more of a natural approach rather than, and this is the big argument that people throw at it, than the Digimon approach, which is all digital and things get armor and things become humanoid, and Digimon was very different in the feel of their evolutions than Pokemon was. Pokemon felt more natural and they stayed more animalistic, whereas Digimons tended to get weapons and armor and stuff like that. And so while I can understand the comparison between Mega Evolutions and Digimon is being thrown around, because a lot of the Digimon evolutions were called like Mega Garurumon or whatever it was, I think that comparison's a bit unfair. Firstly, because it still adheres to most of what Pokemon was about. You can evolve things with stones in the first game. Firestone, Leaf Stone, Water Stone, there was one of those. I can't remember all of them, I'm so sorry, it's been a while since I've played. So stones have been in the games for ages. And the evolutions of these Pokemon don't look like mechanical or armoured or anything. They look like a natural progression, just like all the other Pokemon evolutions. And so some people may still say, oh, but these Pokemon were never meant to evolve. They're like the final stage. Charizard was amazing. Blastoise, awesome. Mewtwo, who needed an evolved Mewtwo? But if you were ever really into Pokemon, and I mean really into Pokemon, loved it, then I challenge you to tell me with a straight face and no lie that you looked at some Pokemon or another and thought, what if that evolved? What would that look like if it evolved once more? Everyone did. When I was a kid, I always fantasized about new evolutions of all the Generation 1 Pokemon. That was part of what made Silver and Gold so groundbreakingly amazing. They introduced new evolutions of existing Pokemon. That was new back then. That was amazing. And it just fulfilled all the fantasies that we had as children about, oh my god, what if that became that? So I look at these Mega Evolutions and I see dream fulfillment. I see ultimate fantasies realised in canon, in the game itself. So yes, maybe it's a gimmick. Yes, maybe it won't carry on into the next games, who knows? But from what I've seen, all it is a new way to play the game that exists within the constructs of the existing game world. I don't see a problem with that. I mean, Christ, there's been loads of game mechanics in the new Pokemon games that I've never used. Look at Poffins, look at fucking making your own Pokeballs. I never did all that. I just used what I got and I didn't bother with any of the beauty contests. But other people readily adapted to that. Some people go into tournaments with all the Puffin-based beauty contests that the Pokemon hold. I don't get that. That is not what I play Pokemon for. But I respect that it's a part of the game, and I don't go out of my way to bitch about it. So I am excited for Mega Evolutions. I can't wait to see what Pokemon have Mega Evolutions, because they've only released a small number that we've been able to see. And the one I'm looking forward to was always my favourite back in the original games, which was Growlithe, then Arcanine. I want to see Mega Arcanine. I want to see what that was. Because Arcanine was originally going to be a legendary dog Pokemon in the first game. It was going to be the legendary dog. But then they just changed it to a normal one, and that's why it still looks so amazing. But that's what I think. Do you like Mega Evolutions? Get in the comments and have a discussion with me about this, because I'm interested to hear what people think. What are your criticisms about it? Like, why do you think it will ruin the game if you do? Why do you think it will help if you do? What are you looking forward to seeing evolved again? Just get down there and let me know, because I am very interested in this. I might have to go and pick up a 3DS finally. This might have been the final push that I needed, getting me back to my gaming roots with Pokemon and having a great time. I'm excited for it. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. And I've been Rich Perry, and this has been Chat. Have a good day.